Uh-oh. Welcome in the latest episode of that SEC podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bratton. I go by SEC Mike on Twitter. And I'm joined, as always, by my cousin Shane, who goes by Big Orange Vols on the Twitter machine. What's up, yo, Tennessee Hober?
Hey, baby, what's going on?
Oh, man, I am ready to get into another weekend of SEC action. We're not quite a separation Saturday, Shane, but we're getting close for a couple of these teams.
We are getting close, Mike, and I think that's the awesome part. And one of the things is, like, last week we were just so damn excited that college football was here, but, Mike, it feels like we got a little bit more action this week. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to get into it here in just a minute, but as always, got to let the fine folks know we are presented to you by MyBookie, the online sportsbook. Shane, head on over to MyBookie today. Put in that promo code, that SEC, that's THAT, SEC over at MyBookie. They're willing to match your initial deposit up to 100%, Shade, 100%, as long as you put in at least $50 and as much as $1,000. They'll double your money today with that promo code, that SEC over at the online sportsbook MyBookie. And Shane, can't miss this season. You know what?
No, I'm putting a bet in right now, Mike. One of the cool things too is not only am I on fire, but one of my favorite parts is just some of the other games that they provide there. You know, I was just doing a couple of them squares. You know, just like they had passing around there back in the day in the at your work. You know, you pay $5 and then you can get you a square, and then if you hit the quarter, then all of a sudden you're making some money. So yeah, they got all kinds of cool stuff on there. So be sure to take advantage of that. Again, it's 100%, right?
It's 100%.
Yeah. Come on now.
Hey, shout out Cousin JR. Money must be made of money over here. He just gifted a membership to Cousin Jerry. Welcome to the family, Cousin Jerry.
Welcome.
Hey, real quick though, Shane, before we get into these picks, because I did this, quite honestly, Shane, I forgot about doing these.
Yeah.
And I just started seeing other people floating them around this week, and I said, okay, I got to jump back on it. So I put out the graphics today. I'll do it a lot earlier, probably in a week moving forward, but top 10 stat leaders from week one. And again, we don't have to spend a ton of time here. We got picks and everything to get to, but I'm going to throw up the top 10 passers here in the SEC. See, I didn't even do it well enough to have the.
We're mad over here.
Yeah. But and before anybody says anything, I know my guy only played half. I mean, you can't imagine how many people have said that to me, Shane, but damn near half these guys only played a half. So real quick, I'll just run through it. Jackson Dart, number 1, Peyton Thorne, 2, Nico, 3, Nussmeier, 4, Carson Beck, 5, Quinn Ewers, 6, Blake Shapen, 7, Taylon Green, 8, Brady Cook, 9, Jalen Milroe, 10th, right now in passing yards after just 1 week. I was just wondering, what's any biggest surprise on this list, basically, after just 1 week of football?
Peyton Thorne sitting there at number 2. I mean, you're going to get to the receivers here a little bit, but they had themselves quite a field day there with them receivers. So I think that's the first one that stands out to me. What about you?
Yeah, that and, I was at Blake Shapen, Taylon Green, a lot of standouts here. Jalen Milroe a little bit down, but again, he barely played.
Yeah.
So this is not an indictment on anybody. But to Shane's point, let's look at these receivers. My God, I mean, we got 3 the Auburn Tigers: Malcolm Simmons, Perry Thompson, Keandre Lambert. I mean, we don't even got Cam Coleman on here. He's knocking at the door himself. So 3 Auburn receivers here. We got Trey Harris and the young Ryan Williams leading the charge. Dante Thornton, Jordan Mosley at Mississippi State. That was a surprise. Kyron Lacey, got to get him more involved in the second half. And Brew McCoy, and again, another state receiver, Shane, Kevin Coleman. So these are your receiver leaders. And then last, real quick here, rushers. Oh, buddy, I tried to warn you guys about this Dylan Sampson. He's currently leading the SEC. Montrell Johnson, number 2. Diego Pavia, number 3. Justice Haynes, 4. Jaquindon Jackson, 5. Taylon Green, 6. Back-to-back Hogs. How about it, Shane? Rocket Sanders, Nate Frazier, the freshman from Georgia, Jalen Milroe, and Le'Veon Moss round out your top 10 rushers after 1 week. But this is all in good fun, and people love to complain. My guy's averaging more per carry. My guy didn't play this, didn't do that.
You take the 71-yard rush out. Yeah. What did he have? No, I get that, but I will tell you, it is a little bit of an eye-opener for some of these guys. Honestly, I think every time I see these lists and I see so many quarterbacks on the rushing, you forget just how mobile this conference can be. And not going to lie, man, some of that receiver quarterback love may have changed kind of what I was thinking about one of my picks today, Mike.
Ooh, all right. So we're going to get into it here in just a second. We got weekly prize picks selections, though, Shane. So again, if you're into maybe you don't like wagering on the games, you like putting smart money, because I can actually pick a prize pick, Shane. I can't pick a game to save my life. I can pick a prize picks. I went 4 for 6 last week. Head on over to prize picks, put in that promo code SEC, Shane. You do a $5 game, they'll give you 50 immediately on the other side. I mean, you can't beat that. 55 for 5 is really what you're doing here.
You can't beat that.
Right. So, again, I can pick these. I can't pick a game, but I can pick these. And you're going to like this one, Shane. Right off the top rope. You know it. Nico, come on, Nico. More than 258.5 passing yards against NC State. This is not for a half, Shane. This is for the ball game. I mean, that's a gimme.
Yeah, no, I think it will be a gimme, because a lot of people think this game will be close. And if that's the case, then Nico's not going to be pulled out by the second half, So, yeah, I really like this. I like these odds.
And then another one that'll just double, because obviously he's going to be hitting them, Shane. Give me Squirrel White, more than 51.5 passing yards. When they connect on this first 60-yard touchdown right out the gate, that's a double winner right there.
Yeah, and I feel like, Tennessee didn't feature him as much last week. You saw a couple of receivers on that list of Tennessee, and Squirrel wasn't one of them. So I expect a bounce back this week.
Now, how about this one, Shane? Luke Haas, Arkansas tight end, going up against Oklahoma State. Give me more than 26.5 receiving yards. Come on. Luke Haas, one of the best tight ends in the SEC. He's going to get us 27 receiving yards.
I felt like we had a down week last week with tight ends. So let's start getting those boys, getting them active and getting them on the board. So I like this one here.
And one more for them Razorbacks, Shane. Ollie Gordon, the Oklahoma State. He is a really good running back. But I'm going less than 126.5 rushing yards. I think Arkansas is going to force someone other than Ollie Gordon to beat him. So, again, if this guy has 125 rushing yards, you still will cash out over at Prize Picks.
Yeah, come on. That's a lot of yards, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, give me the under. I think they held them to, what was it, like 13 yards or 15 yards last week rushing? I know Ollie's a different animal, but yeah, give me under 120. That's no doubt.
Yeah, so that's your weekly prize picks. Again, head on over there, put that promo code SEC, $5 for 55 was what they're giving you there. Play all these. They're all winners. You know what?
Mm-hmm. You're a winner, Mike. I feel like it. I feel like our picks are going to hit. Our prize picks are going to hit. This feels like a profitable weekend.
Right, and you know who else is a winner, Shane? Our buddy James Bryan over there, KATV. He's got another outstanding weather report, and this one you're going to be jealous, Shane. He's not in the studio anymore. He's on vacation. Oh. This is his dedication. He's still sending in these videos. But just check out James Bryan here, his background. It's going to make all of us jealous here.
This week, I'm not coming at you from the KTV studios in Little Rock, but I'm coming to you from the Florida Gulf Coast, getting a little bit of vacation in. And this week, I'll be watching every SEC football game from our condo here on the Florida Gulf Coast. It's going to be a great week. We have a lot of games. The weather is much better than it was last week for many spots where we had lots of thunderstorms last week. We'll have a lot of clear skies in the forecast and cooler temperatures. So let's start with your Week 2 forecast across the SEC footprint. We go to none other than Stillwater, Oklahoma. They are hosting my Arkansas Razorbacks. Going to be picture perfect. Mostly sunny, 72 at kickoff with light northeast winds. The biggest game involving the SEC this weekend is none other than number 3 Texas at number 10 Michigan. That's at 11 a.m. Central, 12 o'clock Eastern, 55 degrees will be the kickoff temp. I think that's going to be the coolest temperature for an SEC team this weekend. Strong northwest winds are going to be present during this game at 10 to 15 miles per hour, and we could see gusts up to 20 or 22 miles per hour, so it could be kind of breezy for that one. McNeese State goes to Texas A&M. That'll be at 11:45 a.m. Central, 12:45 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be 84 at kickoff. We'll have breezy north winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tennessee Tech goes to Georgia. That's at 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. It looks like it'll be partly cloudy there and only 82 degrees at kickoff. Really nice forecast there. Not too far away, we go to Auburn. Auburn hosts Cal, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. There's a 20% chance of a shower, but otherwise it will be partly cloudy and 82 degrees at kickoff. The next big game is South Carolina headed to Kentucky, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. What a forecast this game has. Mostly clear skies, 70 degrees at kickoff, light north winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We go to Oxford next. They host Middle Tennessee, 3:15 Central, 4:15 Eastern, 77 degrees at kickoff, mostly clear skies, northeast winds at 10 miles per hour. Could see some gusts up to 15 miles per hour. In Columbia, Missouri, we get Buffalo versus Missouri, 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern, clear skies, 70 degrees at kickoff with light northeast winds. In Tuscaloosa, Alabama, we have Alabama versus USF, and at 6 o'clock Central Time kick there, 7 o'clock Eastern, it will be 80 degrees at kickoff with just a few clouds. The humidity for all these games is a lot lower than it has been compared to a week ago. We will have north winds during this game at 5 to 10 miles per hour as well. And this is the only game in the SEC footprint right here that could have a weather issue. That's Samford at Florida, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. It'll be warm, it'll be humid, it'll be 80 degrees. That heat index could push 90 during the day. Scattered thunderstorms are a good bet with this one. It's a 50% chance we could see, if those storms hang around from the daytime hours into the late afternoon and evening, we could see a lightning delay with that game. As we go to Baton Rouge, Nicholls State heads to LSU. That's 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. It'll be 80 degrees, pretty humid, light northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then we go to Nashville. Vanderbilt gets a chance to be 2-0. Alcorn State goes to Vanderbilt, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. It will be a perfect 70 degrees at kickoff. We'll have north winds at 10 miles per hour and clear skies. And then here's another huge non-conference game for the SEC slate this weekend. Tennessee and NC State in Charlotte. That's at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern Time there in North Carolina. Another perfect forecast, 70 degrees at kickoff with north winds at 5 miles per hour. Now we go to Norman. Houston goes to Oklahoma. That's at 6:45 Central, 7:45 Eastern Time. It will be 77 degrees. East winds will be times 5 to 8 miles per hour, so the wind's not a huge factor. It will be mostly clear. Perfect. And then last, we have a big non-conference matchup for my alma mater. Mississippi State goes to Tempe, Arizona to face Arizona State. That's at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, 7:30 local time. It will be 94 degrees at kickoff. After the high temperature there will be well above 100 degrees. But remember, it will not be as humid as it usually is in Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. It's a different deal. It is a dry heat. So 94 at kickoff, not very humid, and there will be light east winds and a few clouds. There's your SEC football forecast for Week 2. Hopefully much better weather across the footprint this week.
So shout out one more time, James Bryant. Give him a follow, meteorologist James Bryant on Facebook. He's got over 40,000 followers on there, and Twitter, KATV, James Bryant. So, Shane, isn't it funny, though? The one game that's got dark clouds over it is down there in Gainesville, Bailey Napier. You know what?
Oh, yeah, brother. You know the storm's going to be a brewing. So, hey, man, I really appreciate this. And I know he's about 8 hours from me, but I honestly, if I would have known, I would have speedoed that thing, and I would have been right behind him, just walking in the background, maybe doing some stretches or something. Oh, thanks, Cuz, for doing that for us.
Yeah, and I was just, I was going to say this too, Shane. I really wish the cousins can see you, because I can see what you're doing. I mean, you're doing jumping jacks, you're doing push-ups during these breaks to stay motivated during the weather updates. So I appreciate all this time and effort you're putting in.
You can't tell. This is a Bowflex I'm sitting on right now. I'm just.
All right, buddy. So let's get into the action. SEC. A couple of these games, Shane, don't have a point spread. I'll give you my, straight out predictions, but let's go in order of some of these kickoff times. Again, for some of these cupcake games, McNeese at Texas A&M, 12:45 Eastern, 11:45 Central on SEC Network. Shane, McNeese, they beat I never even heard of this school, Shane. Tarleton. They beat Tarleton last week 26-23. Do they give the Aggies a ball game here?
Tarleton. What is that, deaf school in Virginia? Yeah. No, they probably did smoke them, but they're not going to have a shot here at Texas A&M. They need a big bounce back, man. I feel like I don't want to compare it to last. I don't want to compare it to the last regime. All right.
Yeah.
This is a new chapter, new movement here. But there is a part of me that says, hey, what happened last week can't happen this week. We can't have little mistakes. And little mistakes in this game probably won't be as noticeable, but when you get into SEC play, you play teams like Notre Dame, it just sits out there, brother. You got some big games that are going to be coming around the corner here. So all I want is identity on offense. I think I know exactly what we're going to get from this defense. Mike Elko's defense is going to be a lockdown. I'm not expecting any points scored by McNeese this Saturday. So, but I do need to see Connor. I need to see him wake up. Wake up or ship out. You know, it's we're gonna have to do something because we can't be playing this yo-yo game going into week 3. So give me Texas A&M 45, McNeese 0. Go Sags, son.
45-0. I'd love to see it, Shane. That'll get. That'll get the momentum back to where we need it. You know what?
Yeah. I'm expecting like a defensive score in here too. I just feel like the defense, that wasn't completely their fault last week, and I feel like they just double down this week and get some of those sacks we've been hearing about.
Hey, shout out to Cousin Clay. Look at this comment, Shane. Comment of the night so far. Lazy boy flex. There's what Shane's got. He's sitting on. But, I mean, I don't know if I'd go quite as bold as you. I clearly, A&M's going to win. They're going to win by a lot. I want to see how many quarterbacks they play. This feels like another one where you only need your quarterback out there for 2 quarters at most. But given how last week went, maybe we leave Wigman out there a little bit longer to get comfortable. One thing you didn't mention that we must see in a matchup like this, we've got to get explosive plays going. Mm-hmm. We had none against Notre Dame, and that was something even Billy Lucci was concerned about A&M coming into the season. And that was validated week 1. So, yeah, we should be in cruise control, but really we can't even get it. That's probably the wrong way to say it, Shane. We need to get this damn engine going.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going quite as bold as you. I'll go 38-10. Huge win. And only 38 because I don't think the starters will be out here for too long. But this needs to be a dominant performance here.
But do you leave them out a little bit longer just based off last week's performance? Again, we didn't have live scrimmages except against each other in the offseason. So This feels like an opportunity because maybe the game script, the game planning, the identity they had coming into last week was non-existent. I wonder if you kind of leave them out there a little bit longer, play them deep into that third quarter to make sure that they are building off that confidence and that they are kind of establishing that chemistry with that downfield presence, those explosive plays you mentioned.
No, I'm playing more quarterbacks because we got to see what we got in the other guys in this system. I think that's more important than getting Wigman some meaningless second half snaps, personally. How about this one, Shane? Tennessee Tech. Not the real Tennessee here. At Georgia here. 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN SEC Network Plus. Shane, them dogs coming off another impressive performance. It's obviously a pick-your-score type game. But what will you be looking for from the dogs here? And I should mention, Tennessee Tech, they gave MTSU a run for their money, Shane. Lost 32-25 last week.
Oh, man, 25 points. Well, it's a shame they won't get any points this week. That's right. 2 shutouts in a row, Mike. That's what I'm wanting to see here. Georgia Bulldogs kind of woke up second half, and that's the team we talk about. That's the big bad bullies of the SEC that I felt like we lost at times a little bit last year. So just continue that. Get some young reps in here. I don't think this is going to definitely be one of those games that's probably – 4 or 5 scores by half, and then you're taking Beck out and you're letting some of these young kids play. But yeah, that's all I want to see. Just stay healthy. That's all Georgia fans want to see.
Right, and I just want to see a faster start offensively than what we had against Clemson, and there's no concern there. I think it's just more about Clemson, I really do think, as much as we like to mock them, I think they got a quality defense. Mm-hmm. And it was just Georgia making the adjustments at halftime and dominating the second half. But I want to see that domination in the first half. I guess an opponent of this caliber. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not going, well, wait, shit, I guess I am. Georgia 63, Tennessee Tech 0. I'm going to shutout too.
We'll see. And I thought I was a little too high on the scoring there. So, no, this will be a fun game. It'd be good to see some of these other guys emerge. They got playmakers, Mike, and I feel like that we didn't get to see too much of that week one. Not to mention it's the first true season home opener, so it's going to be good seeing them jumping down there in Athens.
Right. All right, how about this one, Shay? I mean, a lot of highs on this one. It shouldn't be, but there will be. Samford at Florida, 7 o'clock Eastern, ESPN SEC Network. Plus, DJ Lagway, the 5-star freshman, he's getting a start at quarterback. Shane, thoughts on this, Matt? Is it a bit? This got to be a big bounce back, right?
I think it is. I do. I think there's going to be some controversy coming out after this game because things went so well for the Florida Gators. But I don't want to lose focus here, Mike. I think you could quarterback this thing to a 49-point victory. So this better not be a football game. I don't care if it's 1,000 degrees and it's raining half the time. This is a football game that Florida has got to get early. Jump on them, make it exciting, kind of, just get the fans are out right now, man. It's going to take more than a Samford victory to get you back in, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
I don't think I've seen a person in the comments say Florida's going to win this game.
Well, they're not, but they will. They will, Mike. I didn't even give you a score here. I got 52-10. I think this is an absolute bloodbath and a coming out party for DJ. I think the real question is, what does this do moving forward? DJ's game so well that Mertz is permanently benched. I don't know.
Oh God, man.
I mean, I
throwing him under the bus after 1 week here.
Well, I'm just saying, if it's so, because if as soon as Mertz struggles, they're going to say, well, damn, DJ just had 49 points on, so I can hear it now.
Yeah, give me Florida 48, Samford 2. Give me 2. I think they get a safety in this one. There's going to be some kind of miscue. There's going to be some kind of Twitter meltdown. Oh, my God. You're going to see a million, memes of Florida losing 2-0 to Samford. But then give me Florida to ream off 48 consecutive.
That could be it, and I'm imagining maybe like a bad punt snap, just goes over the punter's head kind of situation, and then all of a sudden just the total meltdown before they just destroy them.
All right, how about Nicholls, Shane?
Yeah, he still owes me money.
Nicholls at LSU, Shane. They lost by nearly a dime to Louisiana Tech, 25-17 last week here. What will you be looking for from them LSU Tigers as they try to bounce back from the week one? And, man, terrible news here. But running back John Emery, he's out for the season, tore his ACL in the opener. He was about the only sign of life they had at running back. What's your take on this one?
Well, I think that's the department needs to work the most is that running game. So even though he's out, and I hate to hear that, they've still got to get that ground game going, especially against Nicholls. It's a team that, I don't know how many times I've said this, but it felt like the offensive line, this was the identity of that program, was that front five, and they weren't a huge factor. In fact, sometimes they were a problem during this game last week with USC. Not to mention, I just want to see a little tightened up on the defensive front. It's just the trenches for me, Mike. It's the big boys. I want to see them push around Nicholls like they should, but I want to see them live in the backfield like they should on defense. So, this is more about the big boys than it is the special players.
Did you give me a score here?
That doesn't matter, Mike. It's going to be by 100. No, I got one here. I got so many. That's the thing. We got 16, and I'm about blind. I'm going to have to ramp up these glasses. Apparently, they're not working anymore either. Do you think that's how they get you? They get you to wear glasses, and they like tweak your eyes so that they get worse, so you have to keep going in there? Or is it just I'm getting old?
It's one or the other, I promise.
49-3. Mike's like, just give me the damn score already.
I'm going LSU 55, Nicholls 6. They don't get a touchdown on the board, but we got to push this team around. You know what? And there's no excuse otherwise.
The eye doctor's like a shady mechanic, he's just You go in to get something fixed, he messes with something, so you have to come back in a month.
How about last one without a point spread, Shane? Alcorn State at mighty Vanderbilt. Maybe the best team in the SEC. Remains to be seen. But 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, ESPN U. Shane, this got bumped up to the U because Vanderbilt won so convincingly week one. Who wins this one?
Oh, man. I tell you what, Vandy just got exciting, got fun to watch again, and I'm looking forward to this one, another home game. I don't think it's a football game at all, Mike, but I do see a scenario that Alcorn kind of does a Virginia Tech, just kind of gets a couple pointless touchdowns toward the end of this thing, you know. It's not going to help them win or anything like that, but it is going to make things a little bit interesting. Not a blowout like you would want. I've got Vandy 38, Alcorn 14.
Oh.
That's still.
Did you say 38-14?
Yeah.
You're looking off my sheet, brother, because it's going to be 38-13. They're missing that extra point. You better believe it. They're missing that one. But, yeah, I want to see Diego Pavia go off here, carry over that momentum. This is one where hopefully he doesn't even play that long. Remember we threw up the just a moment ago top 10 rushers in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
I know he can run. Keep him in the pocket in this one.
Yeah.
No need to risk anything. I want to see him drop in those rankings, quite honestly. So that's what I want to be looking at. Conserve his hits for the SEC season. We're going to need him in conference play. But, this is a real opportunity, Shay. This is where, again, you're not going to prove much against Alcorn.
Yeah.
But old Vandy from last year or the year before, this is a game you drop when you get some momentum here. So do not embarrass us after you showed out so well week one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Coach Lee taking over those coaching job, I felt like that defense was playing with their hair on fire last week. I just want to see a continuation of that as well.
Yeah. All right, now we're getting into the game, Shane, where we actually have point spreads. Middle Tennessee at the Ole Miss Rebels. Shane, the line keeps changing. Now it's 43 points in favor of them Rebs. Over under 62. This is 415 on the SEC network. Again, MTSU, strangely enough, they beat Tennessee Tech, who's playing this week, at week one. Does MTSU, Shane, do they start 2-0, or is it them Rebels?
Man, yeah, a couple of undefeated teams going back and forth here. You just never know. This may come down to the wire, Mike. But you and I both know that ain't going to happen, man. They have kicked off the dart campaign for Heisman, and it's going to continue here with the Blue Raiders. I've got Ole Miss just kicking some ass here and not slowing down. 63, MTSU 10. Mike, that defense, they do what they did last week. They doubled down on it. And one of the things I do want to see in this football game, Mike, is just no mistakes. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of little pesky errors they made last week we expect during week one, but this is one of the more seasoned teams. I want to see that with MTSU, just not a flawless game. I know that's impossible, but pretty damn close to it.
Shane, did you say 63-10?
Yeah.
53-point win?
Yeah.
You're damn crazy, Shane. I got 63-10 too. It's like you're looking at my sheet over here. We could score even more if we wanted to, but we got to get some of these backups some experience. I don't know if it's not going to be quite as big of a joke as last week, but I tried to warn you.
Wait, you said the exact same score?
Yes, sir. So Ole Miss 63. Middle Tennessee 10, so I got Ole Miss and the points. I don't think they can make a point spread high enough for Ole Miss in these cupcake-type games.
The cousins are running out there putting money on MTSU right now. It's never good when we're in sync, Mike.
All right, how about this one, Shane? I know you'll enjoy this beatdown we're about to get here. Buffalo at Mizzou. Shane, Mizzou favored by 34.5 points. Over-unders 52. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central on ESPN SEC Network Plus. Buffalo beat Lafayette 30-13 last week. Little injury update, Shane. Missouri starting tight end Brett Nortfleet. He is out.
Yeah.
I think Missouri knows they're going to win by so damn much. They said, we don't even need our tight end this week.
Yeah, I said it was week to week, so it may have been one of those situations if it were in Alabama or something, he plays. But the fact of the matter is it's not. It's Buffalo. And one of the things, we got on to Mizzou last week. Here they got a 50-point victory, and we gave them a hard time because it should have been 70. It should have been 80. You know what I'm saying? That's what you and I were kind of expecting with that offense was no mistakes. I was hoping that Brady would come out here and just cook. And I feel like last week was a little bit of an eye-opener, was a little bit of an opportunity to just kind of get because sometimes you get between your ears when you think you've been petted and told how good you are. You got bags of chips with your names on it. You got bouncing cars over there. It's like all of a sudden Mizzou is just on top of the world. But sometimes you need to get punched in the mouth. And even though they didn't lose, I felt like there was opportunities in that game that kind of woke this team up. And I'm expecting them to come out here and play a lot better than they did week one. So this is not a ball game, Mike. Give me Mizzou 56, Buffalo 13.
56-13. Good night, Shane.
Over under 56 wings, between us.
Is that this week's bet? You're going to eat 56 wings or something? If they lose this game?
Yeah, if they lose, I'll do 56 wings. That's a win.
On a live show. You got to do, otherwise it doesn't count.
Buffalo wins, absolutely.
And they can't be tiny and you'd only do like 7 and then you quit.
No, Mike, food and beer are two different things, brother. I will kill 56. I may just do it if Cook, gets one touchdown. I'm not saying that. No, I'm not going to do that. But if Buffalo does win, then yes, I'll definitely eat 56 wings here.
Okay. I believe you. I don't need to challenge you on that. But I like a lot of what you said. I want to see Brady Cook get going in this matchup. Want to see the run game continue. I thought at times, again, we're nitpicking here just because we got such high hopes for Missouri, right?
Yeah.
But at times last week, the offensive line didn't look up to where we were thinking it would be. Mm-hmm. But again, that's week one. You got 2 new starters in there, so I want to see them get on the same page. They were not awful by any means, but let's get them on page. Let's get Luther going early. I love that they did that last week. Let's do that again. Continuation of that defense looking good. So, yeah, of course, I kid Shane. Missouri's going to cruise here. They're still on vacation. They got about 2 more games. Well, hell, Boston College and Vanderbilt are looking pretty good now. There may not be vacations, but they're still on vacation this week, Shane. Mm-hmm. But they do not cover the spread. How about that? Give me Mizzou 48, Buffalo 14, which means that's a 34-point game. Give me a half a point cover here.
I see what you did there.
All right, how about this one, Shane? This was a ball game last year. Better not be this year.
Oh, buddy. Yeah.
We got South Florida at Alabama. Over-under is 64. Bama favored by 31 points. It's on ESPN, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. South Florida, Shane, beat the brakes off Bethune last week, 48-3.
I've been called that before.
Do they do it to the Tide this weekend?
Mike. I think if you just looked at the box score, you think Alabama had their way last week. I feel like that. But there was moments in that football game I was really scratching my head saying, man, if they had a quarterback not named TJ Finley, they may have made this a football game. And I felt like that was kind of – there was plenty to critique in film study this week, brother, especially in that secondary, because that was the biggest question mark for me was that Alabama secondary, what they're going to look like. Now, they did get a couple of interceptions, and everybody's kissing babies and shaking hands over there, and they're on cloud 9. But I felt like there was also moments in this football game that if you were playing a better team, that you could have had yourself a little bit of a shootout here. Alabama's offense is phenomenal. It's their defense that I have the question marks on. So I don't like the points here, Mike. I think South Florida makes this a little bit more interesting than last week. Give me Alabama. Comfortable win, 42, but give me South Florida, 21.
You just hate Alabama and Kalen DeBoer. You know what?
No, I think, again, I think the offense is on the right path. I mean, how can you not? How many 2-play drives do you have to see to say, hey, man, they've got something here? It's the defense that I'm wondering, what does that look like, especially if they keep that momentum? If they get into these shootouts, what does this young secondary do?
I think the worst thing that could happen to South Florida this year, Shane, was South Florida nearly beating Alabama last year. There's no way in hell Alabama takes this team lightly due to that. I think you are dead wrong, Shane. I don't even think Jalen Milroe played his A game last week.
Yeah.
And I mean, and they score 50-something points, 60-something points. They're going to do it again, brother. And the defense is going to come locked in for this offense that this is the Tennessee offense. This is the kind of the Lane Kiffin offense. This is an offense that has given this program fits. So I think that helps them too. Give me Alabama 69, South Florida 13. I can't. They'll damn near double this point spread, Shane. I can't believe it's just 31. People are gonna find out real quick. I think Alabama may be the best team in the country.
Oh man, damn. You try to get back on Feinbaum or what?
All right, how about this one, Shane? Houston at the mighty Oklahoma Sooners. It's going to be fun to watch Sooners Auto Saturday here, Shane. Oklahoma favored by 29 points. Over-unders 50 points. Game kicks off 7:45 Eastern, 6:45 Central. On the SEC Network last week, Houston lost to UNLV 27-7. Shane, my goodness. I mean, how bad's Oklahoma winning this damn game?
Pretty bad. Pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? You can't get 7 points against those. How you going to get 7 against this Oklahoma defense that has had extra days to rest? You know what I'm saying? There's an advantage to playing early is you got a little extra time. So, no, I think this is a fun game. This is an exciting game. I feel like it's an opportunity to work on some of those mistakes, mainly in the trenches there on that offensive side. I can't stress that. This is a good team, brother. Oklahoma is a really, really good football team that maybe not enough people are talking about just yet. But when they start stacking more of these victories together, people are going to recognize that Oklahoma has a legit squad. It's just a couple of things they got to figure out, and that's that offensive line. I think they get it right this week, Mike. What'd you say they got last week? 7 points. Houston gets 6 points this week. So give me Houston 6, Oklahoma 38.
Oklahoma. Shane, you about nailed it because it's actually going to be Oklahoma 42, Houston 6. We're dead on the money here on this episode, but you had me convinced. If they couldn't score only 7 against UNLV, there's no way in hell they're getting there against this Oklahoma defense. So, I like a lot of what you had to say. I want to see some of these other receivers get a little bit more involved, a little bit more consistency from the offense, particularly exactly what you said, the offensive line. We got some guys banged up. It's going to be very interesting to see who their 5 that they put on the field is, and get these guys gelled together because we got this game, we got Tulane next week, but then we got the damn monsters Tennessee coming in here. Yeah. We got to get our 5 ready and situated. So we got to start dominate some of these teams. Let's convert on third down. That was a real issue in the opener, but I'm not panicking, Shane. A lot of teams, when you win by 50 points and we're sitting here picking this and picking that, I think that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
You know what? Because some of these others, Florida would have taken a 50-point win last week. You know what?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking, I was like, well, I guess I don't want Jackson to run as much, So I was like, it's like you're just doing these little things that they could tweak, So, yeah, Oklahoma's a good shape. Houston, we've got a problem. You're going to get your ass kicked this week.
All right, how about this one, Shane? Cal at mighty Auburn here, Shane. Both teams won last week, but Auburn is favored by 13.5 points. The over-under, 53 total points. Game kicks off 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ESPN2. Like I said, last week Cal beat UC Davis 31-13. Their big-time running back, Jaden Knott, probable. That's good news for them. He's got over 2,000 career rushing yards. Cal forced 28 turnovers last season, Shane. That's tied for most in the country. And they forced 3 last week in the opener. So they're off to a good start there. Thoughts on this matchup?
I love turnovers, Mike. You know, I had a cherry turnover the other day there at Arby's. But I will say, brother, when you're looking at these two programs, this is probably one of the ugliest football games last year. You know, you probably don't even remember it. You probably didn't even watch it. We just heard us talk about it for 5 minutes, and then you moved on. This is a team right here that Auburn has to have. We knew they were going to win last week, but these are the teams right here that you think, hey, they're going to win. And if they don't, we're like, damn, Hugh Freeze is always going to be Hugh Freeze. I think this is a pivotal matchup. And I thought in my mind, Mike, that I've kind of portrayed a 20-17 football game here, that it's going to be tight, a little bit more grounded pound, a lot of clock being chewed up. But then all of a sudden I thought about those pesky little graphics you put out earlier, you know, I'm looking at Peyton sitting real high. I'm seeing all these receivers sitting. I'm like, you know what? They do got some dudes this year. They can stretch the football field. They're not going to be one-dimensional and boring as shit to watch. So give me my Auburn Tigers. That's right. I'm claiming them since you hate them so bad. 35, California, 17.
Ooh, 35. There's no way in hell it's 35,
Peyton has 4 touchdowns.
Shane.
He has 4 throwing touchdowns.
Well, how about them Auburn receivers? Like you said, Shane, 7 new receivers had 14 catches for 393 yards last weekend. And how about this, Shane? Sam Jackson, he was a quarterback at Cal last season. Mm-hmm. He's a receiver at Auburn now. You know what I mean? So he's going to be giving them the plays. He's going to know it all. You're dead wrong. What'd you say, 35-17?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here, Shane. It's going to be Auburn, 35, Cal, 13. Come on. They ain't getting 17 against this Auburn team on the Plains, Shane. On the Plains. Yeah, it was 14-10 last week, but I think this is a big week here. Again, we got to be careful with the turnovers.
Yeah.
This is a team that knows how to do it. That's about all they know how to do, and they do have a good running back. Shorten the game, force turnovers. That's the recipe for Cal going on the road and pulling an upset. So that's the only thing that makes me nervous here. But other than that, as long as Auburn doesn't turn the ball over, they're going to blow these jokers out. And can you believe it, Shane? I don't even know if you realize this. This is an SEC versus ACC matchup.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Not until you said it.
Cal is in the ACC now.
Those don't even matter anymore, you know? It's like East and West. We don't even look at it anymore.
All right, how about oh man, I'm excited about this one, Shane. Late night game here. Mississippi State goes on the road at Arizona State. Arizona State favored by 5.5. The over-under's 59 points. The game kicks off 10:30 Eastern time, 9:30 Central on ESPN. Last week, Arizona State beat Wyoming 48-7. How about this, Shane? Arizona State has never beaten an SEC team. Huh. Does it happen this week?
First off, they need to change their logo back. That looks stupid. But I think, brother, this is going to be a hell of a football game. We didn't think in the offseason that it would be, but Mississippi State opened my eyes last week, brother. And after that performance and watching what Jeff Lebby immediately did to this offense, I said, hey, brother, there's a couple of teams that I had losses that they're going to be able to hang with and potentially win. This is one of those weeks, Mike. I think we've been sleeping on these damn Bulldogs. We ain't been talking about them near enough. We're going to be talking about them, especially when they start this season 3-0. And they can't get to 3-0 without winning September 7th against these pesky bastards. So give me Mississippi. I lost the score. I lost the damn score here. Morristown Honda, Mississippi State 28, Arizona State 27.
Oh, God. 1 point. But my favorite thing, Shane, because you Morristown Honda Vanderbilt last week.
Yeah.
And then you come in here and act like you had all the confidence in the world in these teams, yet you Morristown Honda it. That means you ain't got no confidence.
I've been hurt, man. Our net hurt so bad. I like to put some of these teams up on pedestals after week 1, but I gotta be realistic here, Mike. Week 2, what does that look like? You start putting a couple of games like that together, then we're like, oh shit, this is the real deal. But then in the back of your mind, you're like, what if it's not? So yeah. I feel like I feel like Mississippi State can win this football game. It should win this football game.
Yeah, no doubt, Shane, because I think even though there's been a mass turnovers of the roster here following the coaching transition, I still think Mississippi State's got a better overall roster.
Yeah.
When it comes to talent, Arizona State is not in a good place by any means. Now, they had 2 interceptions, though, in their opener, or they forced 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. So that's going to be critical. The way that Jeff Lebby with Blake Shapen, who, hell, Shane, I thought he looked fantastic in the opener. Again, I realize the competition is not great, but 75% completion percentage, 3-0 touchdown interceptions, and over 12 yards per attempt, not completion per attempt. If we have these kind of numbers here, Mississippi State's going to run wild on Arizona State, but we got to eliminate the turnovers. This is not a team that can go on the road across the country and have a sloppy game and win.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a real challenge. This is not a gimme by any means, but come on, Shane. Come on. This is the one we need to get us to a bowl. Maybe I hope I was dead wrong putting Mississippi State at the bottom of the SEC. Here's the night, and it will be night. It'll be after midnight when this damn game's over with. Shane. They're going to prove us wrong. They're going to turn Arizona State into a damn pumpkin when it comes to midnight. Give me Mississippi State in a close one, Shane. 35-30 over Arizona State.
It's like that. You remember that cartoon we used to watch growing up? I don't even know if it's considered a cartoon, but the Island of Misfit Toys, you know?
Right.
It's like, that's what this is. They just pieced all these guys together, and then all of a sudden they find themselves just winning football games, saving Christmas. Come on, Mississippi State. You got to save Christmas now.
Right. Now, how about this one, Shane? This is going to be a one hell of a showdown here. I'm hoping that it's a great game like I think it can be. Arkansas at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State favored by 8 over them Razorbacks. The over-under 62.5 points. Game kicks off noon Eastern, 11 Central on ABC. Shane, these teams have met 46 times, but they haven't played since 1980. That's incredible. Which of course was a win by them Razorbacks back in 1980. But this is a pretty stacked Oklahoma State team. Can Arkansas go on the road and pull off the stunner?
Well, I bet Bobby Petrino and Sam were dangerous in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Dangerous. Ladies, men on the recruiting trail. I'd love to hear some of the stories. But, Mike, you know, this is one of those teams I was telling you about. It was so easy to get sucked into the hype. You know, when you go out here, you beat Peanut Butter by 10 touchdowns and consecutive touchdowns. There's not been one drive this entire season they've not scored a touchdown on. I mean, think about that, brother. And now you just think, well, naturally, or just remove Team A and take them to location B, and they're going to continue to roll. And part of you is like, wait a minute, Shane, tap the brakes here. This is the Arkansas Razorbacks. This is the team that's got a coach on the hot seat. This is a team that's quote unquote in a rebuild, kind of lost, wandering around. This isn't the program that we thought would be this year, you know. Now, what does it look like next year? If Sam sticks around, maybe there's some opportunities there. If not, maybe the new coach can help him out. But I don't think Sam's putting any applications in anytime soon, Mike. I don't think he's selling this lake house anytime soon. Bobby Petrino just bought him another pair of sunglasses because it's going to be hot down there at Oklahoma State, and it's going to be awesome watching the greatest team played on turf there. And nothing's better than Mullet Gundy after a football game crying and complaining about something that happened on the football field. So get your memes ready because he's like the that side of the Oklahoma, the Mississippi version of Dabo for me. I got Arkansas pulling off the upset here, Mike. 31, Oklahoma State 28, son.
Are you confident in that, though?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hearing a lot of yelling. I'm hearing a lot of screaming, but I don't hear a lot of confidence
I just get
in
excited. Well, there's the fact that we're even considering this being a football game. No, I think Oklahoma State kind of gets back into it. I feel like there's a moment in this football game that Arkansas has a sizable lead, and then we're worried. We're kind of like, oh, shit, don't Arkansas this thing. It's
a
coming.
Sizable lead, Arkansas on the road, huh?
I would imagine there's going to be a point in this game. You got a 17-point lead, Mike, and then all of a sudden, like Vanderbilt and Virginia Tech last week, they start kind of nickel and diming you, and you make a couple of mistakes. You got a little too cocky or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen here. Arkansas 2-0. Can you believe it?
I feel like I feel like you're picking from your heart, Shane.
I am.
Because I did some research here. 10 senior starters for Oklahoma State. A running back scored he scored 21 touchdowns last season, Shane. They got a quarterback, 7th-year quarterback. I didn't even know that was legal. With over 9,000 passing yards, all 5 starting offensive linemen back. 2 receivers with over 895 yards last season back. Dude, there's no way in hell Arkansas is winning this game. Peanut butter done sucked your ass in. Give me Oklahoma State 38, Arkansas 28. If there's a rally, I think it's Arkansas rallying back in this game, Shane. And I've been horrible at picking Arkansas games the last couple of seasons, so this is kind of a little bit of a reverse jinx, but I would be stunned if Arkansas won this game.
Stunned. Are they?
Did you just hear what I just said about Oklahoma State? I mean, this is a very good team.
Yeah. You see my caption down there, 1-0, Mike. You know, you're going
So is
against
Oklahoma
the
State. I think you went on too many hog shows this week, and you're brainwashed or something.
Maybe I got sucked in because, again, I want them to be good. And so what? I can do that. That's my opinion, Mike. And yeah, I don't have all the numbers and all the formulas, and I can't put it in my little computer and it pop out an answer who's going to win this thing. Sometimes you just got to feel it. That's like Sam did last year. You know, sometimes you got to put that chart down and not worry about what you got to do on 3rd and 3 with the wind coming this way. You know, it's like just go out there and feel this thing. And I felt like they were in their feels last week, and that's what I love about Arkansas is the passion that this fan base now has. It just took one football game to bring them back in, and I can feel it with the players. I can feel it in that locker room, brother. That's going to be carrying out there to a team that they're not supposed to win, and when they do, oh my gosh, could you imagine turning that damn jukebox up?
I really couldn't, Shane. I really can't. I can't.
I know.
Now, how about this one, Shane? Tennessee, I know you'll be turning up the jukebox for this damn game. Tennessee, NC State, battle in Charlotte here, neutral site. Got to stop with these damn neutral site games. Tennessee favored by 10, over under 60.5 points, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on ABC. Week 1, Shane, NC State beat Western Carolina. Never even heard of them. 38-21. Thoughts on this matchup?
Mike, how many times has this spread changed here in the last few weeks? You know what I'm saying? What's it up to now?
It's up to 10. Tennessee favored by 10.
Oh, and you told me that earlier, and I said it's not enough, brother. It is not enough. The Tennessee Vols, every time I turn on ESPN or one of these big shows, Fox Sports and all these guys, that's the first thing they point out is Nico and how great he did. They show a couple of his passes. They show us a couple of runs by Sampson, and they say the Tennessee Vols are back because they whooped up on old Chattanooga. But how many times have we got sucked into this, Mike, and we get patted on the back and we say we're back like it's 98 again? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the year that we're gonna catch fire. We're gonna show the nation that we can be a national championship football team, and then we lose. I remember going to Charlotte and watching West Virginia. You know, that's a sad football game, Mike, when you're down there, and then all of a sudden you got to turn around, you got to drive back all those hours as a loser, even though you thought you were going to win the entire time. Now, this spread's at 10 points. You had me at 4.5. 10, maybe a little too rich for my blood. But who we kidding, Mike? It's the Tennessee Vols. This is their year. They are back. Nico's going to have him a hell of a football game here. I think Sampson is another one. Not a lot of people are talking about it. You know, it's been a while since we've had a running back for a Heisman, but this is a guy that could potentially get over 100 yards every football game that he's out there. Calm down. Let me finish this, Mike. I almost locked this one down, but I was afraid to because I'm still a little, battered Vol syndrome there. Give me Tennessee Vols 42, NC State 17.
42-17.
42-17. This game's close till the second quarter, and then all of a sudden Tennessee scores right before half, and then they blow them out the second half.
I guess, Shane, you don't know about this quarterback, Grayson McCall.
Oh, here we go.
He's got over 10,000 passing yards in his career, 91 touchdowns, only 15 picks. How about this Kevin Concepcion, Shane? 10 touchdowns last season at receiver. He's already got 3 on the year. And then they got a monster tight end, Justin Jolly. Jolly Green Giant. I mean, he looked like he was 7 feet tall in the opener, Shane. He's at 900 career yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, this is not your Papaws, NC State, Shane. Have you seen the hype videos coming out of NC State? They're making fun of Nico. They're grit. As opposed to Tennessee Flash and all this. Man, it kind of hooked me, Shane. That I'm totally bought in. I think NC State is going to come out of here, shock the nation, jump on them Tennessee Vols early. Give me NC State 17, Tennessee 45. So NC State may shock us by jumping out early, but Tennessee's going to beat the hell out of them. And I was just laughing, Shane, because everybody that's watched Nico, they're like, oh, this guy can win the Heisman. You're sitting here saying, damn, the running back can win the Heisman too.
Yeah.
They can't both win it, can they?
No, I don't think they can both win, but it is one of those, I think, when we get to the end of the year, Samson's going to be, if not
they're going to steal votes from each other.
Well, not so much that. It's just I feel like he's going to be leading the SEC in rushing at this current pace. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's not just rushing. It's they made him a focal piece in the Chattanooga game. What are they going to do when the thing's tight with an NC State football team? So yeah, I really like the Vols here.
I think my dog likes them too.
Go Vols. Kneeling.
All right, how about this one, Shane? A lot of people saying this is the game of the week in college football. Texas going on the road to the big house, Shane, to them cheating bastards. Longhorns favored by 7 on the road. Over under 42.5. This is a noon Eastern, 11 a.m. kickoff on Fox. Shane, believe it or not, these programs, these two mighty programs, two of the top 10 arguably in all of sports, college, whatever the hell you want to say. They've only met one time, Shane, 2005 Rose Bowl. That's pretty wild. Michigan has won 23 in a row at home. Of course, they cheated that whole time. But thoughts on this one, Shane? Can Texas go up to Michigan, go up to the big house, 100,000, and shut all those cheaters up?
Yeah, I think they can, Mike. And I saw them loaded up the trucks today, and they were heading up north to make this football game. That may have been shot last week or something. I don't know how long they've been up there, but they don't. You know who's not filming this thing? The Stallion no more. You know what I'm saying? We got the headsets. We got everything going on. Don't be surprised that we don't have like an Alabama thing this week, and all of a sudden the headsets don't work, and they got to go back. I can only hear national media going crazy when that happens, but brother, Texas is one of those teams that we hyped up all offseason, and they put that seal of approval on week 1 matchup with Colorado State. I think anybody that actually watched that football game knew that this is a football team that not only belongs in the SEC, but has an opportunity to win it. And you don't do that and go up to Michigan, a team that is not as superior as you, and come away with a defeat here. So, Mike, this is a big game for the SEC. This is a big game for the conference. Going up there, knocking off national champs, ending a streak. What did you say? 20? How many games? 20 games?
23 in a row.
23 in a row. Well, this is a perfect opportunity for Texas to end it. So, Mike, I haven't locked anything down yet, so I'm going to lock her down now. Give me Texas 35, Michigan 13.
35-13.
Yeah.
Lock of the week.
Lock her down. Maybe see Manning in this thing.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, Shane. I mean, God, Michigan struggled last week. They beat Fresno 30-10, but they needed a late score and a pick six to make it look like they whooped them. They didn't. They damn near lost, Shane. They don't know what they got at quarterback. They're rotating This is not a team you can be rotating your quarterbacks on, unless you're Texas and you're putting in the backup because you're blowing people out. But Michigan's still trying to figure out what the hell they got at quarterback. I do like a couple matchups in this game, though, Shane. Strength on strength. Texas offensive line, Texas offensive line, Michigan defensive line. That's going to be probably where this game's decided. Also, Texas, all this new look receivers that they got, going against some really good defensive backs from Michigan. So those two matchups in particular will be key, I think, to this matchup. But virtually everywhere else, I think Texas got a major advantage.
Yeah.
So I don't know what in the hell anybody. I'm seeing some people in the comments love Michigan. I don't know if Michigan can get to 10 points in this game, Shane, against this defense I saw week 1 from Texas. So, man. Double cousin curse lock of the week.
No.
Come on. Texas 28, Michigan 9. The dud from the big house up there. Now that they ain't cheating, now that Harbaugh and all them cheating bastards is gone, Michigan doesn't stand a prayer in this matchup.
No. And this rushing at this they're trying to mimic what they've been doing, and it's not going to work against this football team. They will not allow you to run the football. They will not allow you to pass the football. And then if you give yours enough time, he's going to have plenty of scores himself. So I don't think this game's close at all, Mike. That's why I locked her down.
Yeah, it's the same reason I did. So one final game, Shane, and this is the first ever where we got a little SEC injury report. So they're going to be breaking these out for every SEC conference game this season. So no big surprises, but Kentucky's got a bunch of guys out. South Carolina's only got one official guy, but I just want to make note of that. So we're going to have that for each and every game this season. That's going to be pretty neat. But man, we love all these games, Shane. But these conference games mean a little bit more, especially when there's bad blood down here. So South Carolina going on the road. Kentucky favored by 10 up there in Lexington. Over-under is 42.5. Game kicks off 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ABC. Again, this is a big ABC, ESPN type game. This is the first one of the year. Gamecocks have not won their SEC opener since 2017, Shane. I can't believe that. Now, they often play Georgia, so that maybe that's not a fair stat right out the gate, but it's an accurate one. Kentucky has won 7 of the last 10 against South Carolina, but Carolina's won the last 2. So this is some big bad blood in this matchup, Shane. The Sunglass Bowl. Who wins it? South Carolina at Kentucky.
The Sunglass Bowl. I'm glad you dubbed that, Mike, because this has turned into one of my favorite games to watch. And, usually there's not as much riding on it as there is this season, Mike. We talked about 3 of the most pivotal games, coming into this year. We did the Miami, Florida. That was right there. Me and you were kind of stuck with this one, Kentucky, South Carolina, because it just changes your trajectory. Is Kentucky going to have a good season? Is South Carolina going to have a good season? Or is one of them going to have a bad one? So I felt like this is kind of where it started. Unfortunately, South Carolina tripped a little bit out of the gate with Old Dominion, and now all of a sudden people are pointing the finger saying, well, there's a clear-cut loser in this scenario. I'm not counting them out just yet, Mike. I rewatched this game, and I'm telling you right now, brother, South Carolina has got a hell of a defense. They've got some dudes over there. And again, I don't know. They should have been taking them out for steak dinner every night last week because they saved their ass with Old Dominion. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like there was moments, there was flashes of Rocket Sanders, there was flashes of the athleticism of Sellers, and I feel like I don't want to throw it out with the bathwater here. I feel like South Carolina has an opportunity, brother, to not only make this a football game but win the damn thing. Now, on the other side of the coin, you got Kentucky. I felt like they had full control, other than the weather. They had full control last week. Brock is who we thought he would be. Their defense just as good. They've got explosive playmakers. But one thing that I'm not expecting was the cockiness, pun intended, in this one, brother. I feel like Kentucky fans think they've already arrived. Feels like they've already sealed the deal with the victory here, Mike. And I don't think you can do that with this South Carolina. This is a big game for Beamer. Beamer don't want to get fired. Beamer doesn't want to lose his job. These players don't want him to lose his job. They want to win. Wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a little bit of a rally call there in the locker room. So South Carolina go into Lexington, get them an upset. South Carolina 24, Kentucky 21. Oh no. I got Kentucky 28. There's no way they're losing to South Carolina, Mike. Shane Beamer's the first coach fired in the SEC, and it starts right here.
Wait, 28-21?
Yep, 28-24. 28-24.
You're firing Beamer because he lost by 7 on the road?
No, this is just the tip of the iceberg, Mike. Like I said, that's why we said this pivotal matchup is so important for South Carolina because it's a must-win. It is not a must-try. It's not a got to keep it close. We're still growing. Give this guy another year. It's none of that. This is a must-win game for Shane Beamer. And, brother, if they lose, this is the first of many. So you cannot afford it. And unfortunately, I just think Kentucky's got a better football team right now.
I think that was the first fake-out pick we've ever had.
Did you like that?
But no one was buying it, Shane, because you've been burying Beamer in South Carolina for 6 months.
I made you think about it there for a minute. I made you think about it. No, I really do. I love Kentucky. I love the play calling. It boils down to that. You get your playmakers the football. You're establishing the line of scrimmage, and Brock Vandagriff, short of him, I don't want him to run as much as he's been running, but if he does, by God, you better get out of his way because he's going to lower his shoulder and hit you.
Cousin John, he's asking if we have a happy hour podcast when Beamer's fired. I mean, here's the $1 million question, Shane. Is South Carolina as bad as they looked coming out the gate, or is that just, first game, I don't know what you call it, jitters? I mean, a lot of these teams get significantly better, including damn near every South Carolina team under Shane Beamer. They get better. So can they get better immediately? That's the $1 million question, Shane. And a lot of these teams, these two teams in particular, to me, they're very similar. They're very similar. Inexperienced but talented quarterbacks. The offensive line's question mark for both of them. Both outstanding defenses. Both of them, in my mind, questionable coordinators and coaches. Not all of them, but some of them. But I don't know. I just in a bad blood rivalry type game like this, first SEC showdown, I don't think there's going to be any way there's going to be a blowout. I really don't. I think South Carolina's going to show a lot better than they did against Old Dominion. And, Kentucky had some flaws, too, in that opener. I mean, they had a turnover right out the gate. Thankfully, their defense got them a turnover and got them one in the end zone, too. Otherwise, Southern Miss may have had a little momentum in that football game. It could have easily went the same way as that Old Dominion South Carolina game, Shane. But, I've been drinking that Kool-Aid, brother. Tastes like a Gamecock win. Get the hell out of here with that. Kentucky wins. Kentucky wins 23-20. I do think, I think it's close. I think it comes down to the wire. Home field advantage is a difference. I don't think there's any shot in hell this is a blowout. I really don't.
No, this is going to be a tight football game. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't come down to a final possession, either getting a touchdown or not getting a score. So, this is going to be a good game. South Carolina's kind of owned them the last 2 seasons, so I don't want to throw that out because, again, they may come out here and win. So I would not be surprised if South Carolina wins the football game. But I would be surprised if Kentucky beat them by 3 scores. It's what is it? 9.5
covering all
now?
your bases there.
Yeah.
Could be a close one. Could be a blow.
No. I know. I'm saying that I would be more surprised that if Kentucky wins, it's going to be by a narrow margin. In my opinion,
I got you.
It won't be a blowout.
Okay.
But if it is, we're going to have us a little phone call. We're going to have us a little sit down. We're going to talk about the one Shane that may be on a hot seat, not on a love seat.
Shane is just dying for his bold take to come true, just so he can say, I got another one.
I got some bookmarks out there.
Yeah.
You know who you are. You know.
All right, brother. So, hey, another recap show in the books. Cannot wait for this action. This Saturday is going to be awesome. You got any thoughts before we close this one out?
No, I'm just pumped up, man. I'm pumped up. Like I said, first week was awesome. It was kind of spread out, which was cool. But this is Saturday football. The weather's perfect, man. We
Yeah.
got some 70 degrees out there. Damn, Texas gets to enjoy a 50-degree football game. Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. We're getting into fall. This is the best time of the year. I can't wait to watch some of these teams. There's going to be an upset, Mike. Let me ask you this. If you were to just pick one, like maybe that you had least confidence in of your picks today, other than like, you know, your Morristown Honda deals, is there an upset potentially out there that you're kind of got your eye on?
Maybe Arkansas.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the one. It's either that or South Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at the I didn't feel good about the Auburn one, man. I need Hugh to really kind of show me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting any money on it.
You know it's bad when I got more confidence in Auburn than you do.
It's not Auburn. It's just, yeah, it is. It's a little bit of Auburn. And I felt like the Trojan horse came in last night. I'm looking at this wooden horse sitting in my backyard. And I'm like, you know what? There may be some guys in there that's going to come out and kill me anytime soon. So that's why I feel like that's kind of where I'm at with Auburn. I want to believe it. I want to believe that they just gave me this new, you know, whatever.
What if it's Samford though? What if it's Samford beats Florida?
Oh, no. I'm not thinking that happens at all. I think, I mean, obviously, if it does, we're going to have a quicker conversation. But I'm looking for a DJ kind of come out party. Like there may be an opportunity. DJ comes out and we're just like, oh shit! Because Vol fans, you may not, if you don't follow Vol fans besides me, they're telling you right now they've seen this movie a million times. They know exactly how it ends. Backup quarterback coming to Neyland. Yeah, we've seen that. It is not pretty for them Volunteers. So there's going to be a lot of Vols watching that game too, brother.
So maybe Billy was just playing chess when everybody's playing checkers. Look embarrassing week one, go to the backup, and they're just going to catch fire and beat the hell out of everybody.
Oh, my gosh. Could you imagine? I mean, Florida, you're 0-1. You could still finish 11-1. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Miami's just the best damn team in the
You
country.
may have to play them again in the college football playoff.
All right, brother. Well, that's that fantasy land. I think that's a good way to go out. I do appreciate you as always.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for Saturday night power rankings. Any kind of emergency podcast, we got you covered, and we got a Texas interview. I also got a South Carolina interview coming on Friday, so be on the lookout for those as well on the channel. But we do appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right, see you guys. Go Vols.
Oh, Beamer.